What's up, guys? Today I want to share 3 simple tips to prevent burnout when trying to film and upload YouTube videos as often as possible. So this is important because sometimes we are very motivated and we set out goals, like I did 3 days ago, to film and upload a YouTube video every single day for the next 30 days. And a few days in, it might feel hard and you might feel low on motivation, or you might feel that you're burning out as it's competing with different priorities. That's what I'm feeling at the moment. That's why I want to share a couple of strategies that I'm currently experimenting with, and I think they're helping make this project more sustainable. So the first idea is one I touched on in yesterday's video, but it's the idea of time boxing every single element of the creative process. So what that means is whatever part of the workflow that we're working on, whether it be filming, coming up with the title, coming up with the script, editing the video, coming up with a thumbnail, etc., put a timer when you're working and do your best not to exceed the time limit. I find that this helps because, like, if I don't set the timer, I feel like when I do a single component, such as making the thumbnail or trying to do the script, I can easily just sort of like overanalyze everything and sort of go down a rabbit hole, and the next minute it's like 1 hour or 2 hours later and you've only been doing one isolated component and you still have like 4 steps remaining, and you're probably not going to be able to finish the process end to end and end up shipping something that day. So it's important in that front where you sort of don't go too deep and go down a rabbit hole and then burn out. But it's also important on days where you don't have much energy, or you're feeling tired, or work's very busy, etc. And just the knowledge that like each step is time boxed and there's a set time limit on it. For me at least, it makes it easier to start. Like, so for example, today I'm pretty knackered because I made the dumb decision of working late last night. But trying to film this video still feels manageable because I just set a 10-minute timer to come up with the idea, 10-minute timer to do the title and all that. And it just gets to a stage where it's good enough and it's what's sustainable at the moment, and I feel good that I'm doing it, right? As opposed to imagining that it's too much of an effort or just not feeling motivated. I feel like if we know that it's easy enough, then it helps getting it, which for me at the moment is the point. So that's the first tip. Time box every stage of the process. So tip number 2 is to work as little as possible at nighttime. And I'm particularly talking about laptop work, right? This applies to your day job as well as whatever's part of the YouTube thing. So in terms of the YouTube steps, I mean, filming, I don't really need a computer. Scripting, I don't really need a computer. But I feel like for every other part of the workflow, editing, coming up with the title, and doing the thumbnail all require the computer. I feel like every time I use the computer at night, like say after 7 p.m., even if the work isn't like conceptually difficult or it's not like a very strenuous task, I can do it at the time, but the next day I sort of pay the price and I get so knackered that I have to compromise on something the next day. So it's such a bad strategy to be doing computer work at night. If you're anything like me, at least, if you can just like push on through the night and work on the computers, I feel like that's a superpower because I definitely can't. And if I really have to do stuff at night, I can do it on my phone. I can use my notebook, I can use my Kindle, but I'm really trying to avoid the computer screens at night because over the last few months when I have been tempted to do stuff on the computer at night, it sort of just like knocks me out the next day, which is what's happened today. So I'm bloody knackered today. All right. And the third tip is like probably the most obvious one, which everyone talks about, but I'm mentioning because it's so important. And it's one I keep neglecting time and time again. And it's getting enough sleep. So the times when I compromise on sleep, I'm also very knackered. Way too knackered the next day. Makes it way much easier to burn out. I get more irritated. I get more reactive. I'm more likely to be ineffective at work. And yeah, there's just way too much compromise when I'm sleep deprived. I get headaches, etc. What does it actually look like to get enough sleep? Well, for me, it links to the first couple of rules. And it's like, it's just actually not working at night because normally I lack sleep because I end up working too late So you're doing two bad things at once. If I can make sure I time box everything, I don't work at night, then it's pretty much increases the probability that I'm going to get a better night's sleep. So those are the three things. 1, time box every component. 2, don't work late at night. 3, get proper sleep. So I hope that helps if you're in the same boat, if you're trying to build the muscle to film YouTube videos consistently. Bye for now.